Good morning, welcome to today's Outlook. Now, starting off looking at the data that's coming out, well, of any significance that is. I mean, there's a lot of low quality data, as I put it, that is very unlikely to move the markets. All I can see at the moment is a 3 p.m. Prelim consumer sentiment, which I don't expect to move the market too much. So let's just look at the technicals in that case, and starting as ever with the euro dollar. There's Euro eventually yesterday put a little sort of, well, say spinning top. It's as near a spinning top as you're going to get, I suppose, without being a spinning top. It's close to being a spinning top. We've had the softest of lower highs coming through here. Yesterday we popped in a lower high. It's been confirmed through the current session there, and well, selling off a little bit at the moment. I did get a short in yesterday, which I'm sitting in at the moment. I will potentially look for further downside in this at the moment. It's just showing that weakness. It really stems back to just running into its monthly and its prior highs here at just short of 120. How far will it come back? Really, maybe back to 1926 sort of area, 27 area. We've got a whole plethora of moving averages below. There's at 28 sort of area, and we've got then 1910. So in the larger time moving averages, and that's really maybe we've already hit the 21, the 50. Well, we're sitting on the 21 again now. The 34, maybe that 50. It's its time at 1910. So we'll see if it breaks beyond that. Well, I'd love it to come down to this. Weekly pivot, but that weekly pivot is going to be disappearing after today. Okay, the pound. So the pound also, well, on the dailies here, hasn't picked up quite as well. It's still lower highs, lower lows running through there. However, when you come down to the 4 hourlies, well, again, I say however, it's broken the trend line that was rising from, if I can pop this on, rising here. It's just broken that trend line, so it's double topped it here. It looks like it's rolling back again. Well, it's pretty convincing rolling back here, confirming some lower highs through this morning. So we're just seeing a bit of dollar strength coming through from the two currencies we looked at so far. And just to confirm that, look, the yen's got a very minor sort of move back up again there as well. So a bit of dollar strength coming through, outside bar there. On the 4 hourly of yen, break of that might see some further upside. Looking at the pattern here, well, again, it's already sort of moving. A break of 108.95 around about that area could see us pushing up further. Again, that would be a higher low coming in there, and maybe a slightly bigger correction. But again, you sort of have to look back to the 4 hourlies to get some idea or scope of where it might go. We've got 34's already been hit, so maybe it's the 50's turn at 109.39. So similar to the euro in that respect. Aussie dollar, oops, if I can get the Aussie dollar on, would be good. There we go. Aussie dollar, looking at this morning, it had pushed up yesterday, Wednesday, and yesterday, Thursday. It slowed up a bit yesterday, bit of RSI divergence over the highs there, just coming off a little bit at the moment and selling again. It just, well, a bit more convincing if we break that low at, and that could put me on the short side on the Aussie dollar there. So a break of 77.23 will give us a confirmed, more significant lower high. We've sort of seen a softer one there. That would be a more significant lower high for the downside there. And again, we'd sort of come back to here, maybe looking towards the 4 hourly 21. So at the moment, these markets seem to be on the turn. Whether they'll stay that way, well, we know at post 8 o'clock often they sort of turn on a coin and off they're off again. But we'll see. Canadian dollar, strong downward trend it's been in. It's got very choppy of late, and well, at the moment it's still strengthening. So it's actually where yesterday it was running up, everything else was running down. It seems to be well, I suppose So this is remember, this is the US dollar, Canadian dollar. This is the US dollar actually getting weaker against something here. So the Canadian dollar seems to be running opposite ways here at the moment, but not got such a clear sort of signal or set up on that lower high or something that's not coming through in the shorter times. Yes, we've double topped there, and maybe that's a reaction that we're seeing, but target wise, well, getting entries is more of a problem. The targets could be coming back to these prior lows, but that might switch post 8 o'clock as well. Okay, I was looking at New Zealand dollar yesterday actually, yesterday evening. Again, another currency that's had a good shift up there. It's again double top area. It's into its weekly R4, which is a bit of a rarity to get such a move out there, but it's had a strong move over the time, although back following not such a period of more consolidation. But again, we're just seeing it break its lows here, but it's just above the 50. That 50 might provide a bit of support, but a break of that, well, look for further downside in the near term. Again, we would need to be coming back to sort of get ideas, and as with the Aussie dollar, maybe a drop back towards the 4 hourly 21, but possibly not so clear there. Okay, that's the New Zealand. A couple of cross pairs, euro yen. Well, 4 hourlies, you can see we're sitting in quite a chop at the moment. Maybe with a bit more movement in the dollar, we could see some of these actually moving around a little bit more. The yen seems to be wanting to give up a little bit more. The euro's doing better this morning, but bang, you just see by the moving averages. If you're not sure if you're not sure from what you can see, just look at how clumped the moving averages are in the center here. Basically, it's averaged itself out. It's bang in the middle of its range, or pretty much in the middle of its range. Is it going to from here strengthen and roll over? A break of this area, well, you may suggest a push up to 130.52. Right, what else? That's probably it in the pairings there. Unless you've got any requests. Aside of that, then let's go and have a look at the new highs that have been put in. There we go. As I said yesterday, it seems good for a buy, any retrace. Sometimes it's easier to find look afterwards and say, oh, there was a retrace. At the moment, it seems to be pushing quite strongly. Yesterday, when I was looking at this, well, 8 o'clock time, there we go, was back here. Good old shove through, and well, just continued. At the moment, it looks like a little bit of softening here on the shorter time frames, as with the currencies. So it's seeing this possible lower high coming in. So this would tie up quite well with a correlation. A stronger dollar, a weaker market slightly, could see a little bit more of a retrace. But I would be looking for those retraces. Something maybe back to 34 would be nice on the 4 hourlies there for a buy side. Okay, gold had a good shove at one stage yesterday. Let's have a look at what's there. We go. So there we go. It's now this is sort of more progressed. With a higher low coming through in the price action. We've had a double bottom down here. It dilly-dallied for a while, eventually pulling back, and then off it went again, and it's pushed through yesterday. It's holding its own at the moment, quite sound where it is. Coming down the time frames, it's well, a break of the lows there would give us the lower at yesterday's low at 3 o'clock would see us with a lower high. And maybe a move back to, at least today, to its daily pivot. Maybe some more, but it has. You can see the higher lows through the bigger picture. The bigger picture looks just on the 4 hourlies, and even on the dailies, it's confirmed the higher lows and just that little bit stronger on those time frames. Okay, oil. Don't like oil. I got stopped, as I said a couple of days ago, on oil. It's pushed on through. And regardless, seems to be slowly but surely just pushing up north again. Not a lot to add to that, really. It's fundamentally, as I say, it's a bit flawed, but there we go. Markets can continue being completely the opposite way to what you expect. Longer than you can stay solvent sometimes, so it's best to leave it alone. Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, well, Wednesday put the high in there. We saw and then retreated. And again with Bitcoin, look, we're just seeing the lower high coming through, just being confirmed. And well, maybe a bit more correction in store. We'll just see how it pitches up this morning, but it's just on that cusp of maybe a bit more of a correction. So not saying they're going to absolutely roll over any of these markets when you see these sort of corrections, but they're just the early signs of correction. Lower highs, just a softer market. You get lower highs confirmed like back here where it's just broken down and it doesn't do a lot more. Sometimes you'll get a lower high coming back. There's no point showing you on this chart, is there? Sometimes you'll get a lower high coming through, and that's it. It's going to be in a much bigger correction. But there we are. You can't tell how big a correction they're going to have realistically, right? Unless the fundamentals are changing significantly. That's pretty much it for today. So I wish you pretty much a good day. Is Coinbase dragging the Nasdaq down? Maybe it's maybe helping pull it down, John. But you can see that the markets are coming off a little bit anyway, so it could be a combination. It might not be helping the situation. Right, I think that's pretty much it. I wish you a great day, and I will be back on Monday. Have a great weekend even. Bye for now. Here we go, job done.